What is up, my friends, and welcome to UFL Week In Review, one of the longest-running UFL podcasts in human history. I'm your host, Mark Perry. In this episode, we dive into the thrilling Week 10 action. The UFL season is over. Share some DFS insights. We actually won. Provide a recap of all the fantasy football stuff. We have winners of the leagues. We'll let you know about that, plus the exclusive DC Defenders behind-the-scenes vlog. Make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, leave us a review on iTunes and Spotify. So stay tuned for an exciting show. Let's get started.
USFL is in business.
The USFL is underway.
There's no doubt spring just got stronger.
All right, we have our DraftKings recap, and guess what, my friends? Yours truly actually won for the first time. I came in 19th out of, 118 people. Finally won my first DFS. Super excited about that. So I had Luis Perez going against my DC Defenders. He had a 17.8 draft rate. He got 20 points. Darius Victor, 2 touchdowns, 20 points. He only had 4.2 drafted there at the Memphis Showboats. Hall from Houston, always a good pick, 15.70. Sal Cannella played well, 12 points from him. Vinny Papali got 5. Alex Ellis from the DC Defenders got 6 points. And then the Panthers defense also got 6. That gave me 87 points. And that gave me a winning. I won $10. That was not the main guy. The main guy who won had Luis Perez, Morgan Ellison. A lot of people had him start, and he did score a touchdown, got 9 points. Hall, he had Cannella. Tyler Vaughn's huge game, 84 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns against my DC Defenders. And Mariner, 110 yards. He had 27 points also. So those were 2 of the big ones. In the Panthers defense, he had 6. The second place guy had Jordan Tamu, came in decent, 19. McCray from Michigan, 36 yards with 3 points. David Davis, nothing, 3 points. Smith from the DC Defenders caught a touchdown, 13 points. And he got Vaughn, he got Kirkland at 28, and then the Brahmas defense at 9. And the guy at the bottom with 28 points, Chase Garbers, Morgan Ellison, Hakeem Butler. It's been a bust. We'll get into that later. Akers from San Antonio with 4 points. Daywood with 3 points. Hagens from DC Defenders with 3 points, and the Stallions with 2. So actually, we finally won. Congratulations to me. It took all season. We finally win at the end. I'm still going to do DFS during the playoffs as well. On our picks for Week 10, how did we do? Well, total bust on the Michigan Panthers, Birmingham Stallions. Stallions won 20-19. I got the spread correct. I got the over-under wrong, and I got the money line correct. I knew it was going to be a close game. I got that right. Thought they would score more points. They did not. And then the Stallions winning. So I got that one pretty decent. San Antonio Brahmas, St. Louis Battlehawks. I got the spread right because it was close. I got the over wrong, and I got the money line wrong as well because I had picked the Brahmas. But the Brahmas had a close game. Only 1 point separated them and 1 point separated the other team. That means it's going to be a good playoff game. These guys will take on each other again this weekend, so it should be a good game. And if you're going to take anything from this, it's looking like the under for both of these games is the way to go. It's not going to be a high-scoring affair. DC Defenders, got 2 of them wrong and 1 of them correct. I got the over right, but again, I got the spread wrong. I went DC Defenders all the way. It was close. A missed field goal probably could have locked things up for DC. That really kind of hurt, plus some questionable calls towards the end of the game. And so America's team lost again. That means no blood drawn, but actually what we're going to do instead of doing the blood, I was like, a lot of people are talking about plasma. So I'm actually going to do plasma donation this week as part of my 2 DC Defenders home wins, giving blood or plasma, something like it. You can give plasma a lot more. I'll talk about that later on in the week once I actually do it, if I get accepted and all this other stuff. Anyway, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats for the worst pick in the draft, the number 1 pick in the draft, and who's not the worst team in the league. I really thought Roughnecks were going to come out. I got it wrong across the board. I thought the Roughnecks were going to win. I got the spread wrong. I had picked the over. It was the under. and I got it all wrong. And Finn's parlay lost, and of course the over-unders and the money lines also lost well. So there you have it with the picks. And let's get into the fantasy real quick. Congratulations. So, of course, Luis Perez is the number one guy. The fantasy season is complete. Tyler Vaughn, 25 points. John Trey Kirkland, 25 points. Sauce Mariner, also 24 points for the Panthers. Danny Outling, 23 points. CJ Marbell, Stallions got 22. Jordan Tamu, Defenders with 22. Darius Victor finally had a great game, 19. Adrian Martinez, always consistent at 17. And then Justin Hall, wide receiver for the Roughnecks, the worst team, but also the best player on the team. He's got 15 points there. So who is the winner of the Writers League? Congratulations to Jet Pack. He's the winner. He won 67-46 over Snap Jordan with the big win there. Congratulations to him. And then our Listener League, the winner is me. I won. Huge game. 121 points to pull ahead. I won the Listener League by, it was 665-629. T-Player came in second and hit him high with the hen, came in with 600, and team placeholder 546. Malmouth Generals 518, and then Redneck Roughnecks 139. He kind of quit because he didn't like the draft. But yeah, huge game for me. I had Jordan Tamu with 22, Victor with 19, John Trey Kirkland with 25, Tyler Vaughns with 25, CJ Marbell with 22, Jake Sutherland with 2, and then Ryan Schmidt with 6 points. Huge game for me. So congratulations. I won the Listener League, came from behind, and consistency, did what I got to do. So there you have it there. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to get to our awards, and then the vlog, and then we'll wrap everything up. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Pulse AI Solutions, where cutting-edge AI technology meets business innovation. Are you a small to medium-sized business looking to transform your operations and stay ahead of the competition? At Pulse AI Solutions, we specialize in AI consulting, delivering custom solutions tailored to your unique needs. Our team of experts designs and implements AI-driven strategies that boost efficiency and drive growth. From AI integration to tech innovation, we provide comprehensive support every step of the way. Join the revolution. Our custom AI solutions are designed to help businesses like yours thrive in the digital age. Experience the future of business with Pulse AI Solutions. Visit us at pulseaisolutions.com and transform your business today.
So before we get into the awards and then the vlog, I really want to kind of get real with you for a second. So this season of the UFL, so I've been covering spring football since 2018. When 2020 hit, the XFL, it looked like XFL News Hub could actually be like a full-time job type thing. It was like really out of the gates, banging. It was good. Everything was good. And you know what happened? COVID came. Then it was years of waiting for the XFL. Danny Garcia and The Rock playing around with the CFL finally comes to fruition, waiting and waiting to hit that again. And the year was basically half of that. And it was very disappointing because, and I don't know why, interest has changed. Everything is everything is changing very rapidly. And that's what happened kind of last year. And then I was like, okay, well, we'll go into the next year. Well, then of course they decide to change the name, and I didn't want to keep the old site. It's got its own baggage and partnerships and advertisers that I didn't want to use anymore. I want to try something new. And so I started UFL News Hub. There's no ads on the site. We tried to do the phone apps, and I could never get Apple to approve the phone app for the and then using .NET MAUI to do all this other stuff. So I've been trying to do all these things, and I've been playing with AI for the last year. You could see the thumbnails. Tried to do it with content generation. I've played with all different kinds of things when it comes to AI. And what I realized is this year, and it was kind of tough, but I can't, like, UFL covering spring football is not even a side hustle. It's basically a passion project. So I had to kind of put that in the passion project silo, because I made no money and I lost money, and I'm struggling to kind of pay the bills just to keep this going. I'm hopeful that now that the CFL season, I have a more established site with the CFL, we can move forward with the things that I've learned, and maybe it can help. Google, I mean, so many things have changed. So you have AI on the scene with writing and editing, and video and all sorts of different things that AI has now changed the paradigm. Google has completely shifted the way they do search. And all my sites have dropped by 70%. And I think a lot, and I'm not the only one. It is just a ton of people in the industry, like huge sites that were doing really well, that with 20 people, people that, employees and all the full-time employees. And I've watched everybody get decimated, really starting since September until now. And I've seen it in my other sites. And this one has struggled to, UFL News Hub has struggled to kind of gain any kind of momentum because Google essentially changed the way they do search. And then you have AI, which basically, so remember, Google was an answer engine. You ask a question, Google would give you a bunch of responses. People would write responses to answer that question. Well, now Google's trying to use AI to answer the questions, and it gets it right and wrong. And then now, the whole web business is basically shifted. So you saw the commercial for Pulse AI Solution. And so I have a full-time job. Like I have a full-time job. And this has been a side hustle, but now this is moving to a passion project. The side hustle is now Pulse AI Solutions. So I will be coming out most likely with a podcast. I've already done videos. I will show you everything I know about AI. I've talked to a lot of business owners in my community. I'm kind of plugged in with a lot of people. They all kind of would love to have somebody come in and help them explain what AI is, how they can use it, how you can be more efficient in your business using AI. So that is now the new side hustle until maybe if that comes to fruition, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing it out over the next 6 months. We've got all this stuff going on with my wife and her cancer stuff. And in between that, and then there's been changes at my real-time job that affects everything. So it's been the last 6 months have basically sucked. I'm just going to be honest with you. And my personal life completely sucked. Between my wife, my real job, what's going on in the internet business, and it's affecting all. I mean, you're looking at Washington Post cutbacks and all of these companies cut back, and I'm trying to figure out how we can kind of thread this needle to make it work. And I think I have a good plan going into the summer and then the fall into next year. So we're not going anywhere. But if you're wondering sometimes, like, well, he doesn't really put a lot of effort into it. It's like, I can't, because it doesn't make me any money. I have to focus now on things that make me money, especially with stuff going on with my wife and in my real job and all this other stuff. So Pulse AI Solutions is where I'm going to pivot to and really kind of focus on that, teaching people and seeing if that kind of generates interest. I'm always going to be involved with the UFL. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to stop with the Monday podcast because there's games. We'll do our Thursday podcast. And then once the off season kicks in, I'll probably pop on once a month just kind of playing around. And we got the draft and whatever, we've got fantasy football. We've got all of those things that we're kind of playing around with. The technology space, and I'm just telling you, just somebody who has been involved in technology for over 20 years, I have seen stuff, and this stuff with the AI just blows me away. And I'm just I'm a software engineer by day, and I don't know if my job, I don't even know if I have a career anymore. Like, that's how crazy this stuff is. So I'm trying to pivot to survive. I'm looking to pivot somewhere where I could make money. And so that's kind of where my energy and focus is going to be going forward. So you're going to see Pulse AI commercials, and you can follow me. I'm going to do a podcast. Just go to Pulse AI Solutions YouTube channel, and you can start seeing you can see a video I did about how I used AI to help find a stem cell doctor for my wife's multiple myeloma. And so I'm all kind of doing that kind of stuff. But I really wanted to, for the last 5 years, have spring football be a thing where I could comfortably pay my guys, I could comfortably pay myself, and it was making money and things were fine. But this, like, robbing Peter to pay Paul, like, I can't do with it anymore. So I need to, but I'm not going anywhere per se, but I just can't focus all my attention on this because I need to make money somewhere else. And everything is shifting. I have an idea of where I think things are going. I have ideas of projects that I want to do that are going to be for the spring football community, for podcasters, for fantasy football, and all of these things. It's just, I'm just trying to kind of figure things out. Everything has just shifted. And for me, in the last 6 months, it's been crazy. But I have faith. God's got a plan. My wife always says, God's got this. So I just wanted, you were probably like, what the heck is this Pulse AI Solutions? Well, now you kind of know. And I'll be talking about that further as well. But that's kind of what's going on with my life. This is the final Monday show. and then we'll just do Thursday shows until the season's over, and then we'll get into the off-season mode where it's probably just be once a month, kind of just checking in. We've got the draft. I'm going to be at the DC summer showcase there, so I'm excited about that. And we'll just kind of see. We'll see where this league goes. I mean, the more interest in this league happens, the more it props up all of us, YouTubers, podcasters, and all of our websites. It's just not the same as it was in 2020. And the strength is really not, I'm not seeing it because of changes in Google. It's just wrecking everybody's site. It doesn't matter what kind of content you put out, or if it's human or robot generated. I'm telling you, it's just, Google is just a mess right now. I would sell my Google shares if I were you and invest in something else. It's that bad. And if you follow that industry and the website industry, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that is my rant for now, because I wanted to get into our awards and then get into the vlog, which we had a lot of fun at the DC Defenders game yesterday. And then we'll wrap the show up. So anyway, week 10, unexpected MVPs. Arlington quarterback, I got Luis Perez, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. DC, if they would have made the field goal and a penalty here and there, probably could have held on to it. It's interesting that DC really focused on, defense this year and shoring up the defense. Got a lot of good name players in there, but it just didn't mesh for whatever reason this year. So we'll have to kind of see the offseason. I'm super excited that we have stability. All 8 teams are coming back, and then we can kind of have this offseason and then maybe a draft in October, November, and then we get to see how things are going. I'm definitely upgrading my seats as well. We love going to the DC Defenders game and Friday Night Football, as I think is going to be great. Underdog Spotlight, underperforming team or player that showed grit. Memphis Showboats, Darius Victor, the big game, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a good game. That's the guy. That was the guy that we wanted all season. Memphis, I totally blew it. I thought Memphis would have been one of the best teams. High-powered offense. Chase Cookus didn't do anything. Darius had a struggling year. He even said during the game he felt like maybe the offensive line was finally coming together. Now we should have cohesion going into year 2, and now teams can kind of upgrade their talent, so we'll kind of see where that happens. But Darius Victor finally had a good game for the season. Fantasy flops and finds. San Antonio wide receiver Justin Smith, 1 catch on 7 targets. I track, because we do fantasy football, I track all the targets, and man, some of these guys get like 5 or 6, 7 targets and, 1 catch on 7 targets. Whether it's his fault or not, I don't know, but that's a lot of targets for just 1 catch. David Davis, crushing it all season long. No yards on 4 targets. Hakeem Butler, 34 yards. And Mark Thompson with Houston. I mean, I would be like, let's DC Defenders. Let's make a trade and bring Mark Thompson to DC. I think he would do much better in DC. I would try to make a trade for him. Those are kind of your flops. The finds, Sozi Mariner, 110 yards and a touchdown. CJ Marvell, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. John Trey Kirkland, it's not really a fine. He's always good every week. 127 yards and a touchdown. And Devon Smith, 94 yards, are just some names that you want to throw out there. And finally, What the Football, dedicated to the most bizarre and unexpected moments of the weekend. Michigan versus Birmingham, San Antonio versus St. Louis. Field goals are what was the difference. Missed field goals or what was the difference in the games. Crazy. Michigan could have won. San Antonio could have won. And I was laughing. I was telling the guys at the Walters and before the DC Defenders game that all of the executives in the UFL were like, please miss that field goal. Please miss that field goal. We need St. Louis to win this game so we can have a home playoff game and then the championship game. Those two in St. Louis, that would be the biggest thing. But I am uncertain. AJ McCarron is hurt. I don't know. But they're getting this home game, which is huge. I mean, the league really needs St. Louis to win it all. But like I said, I really want to see St. Louis and Birmingham in the championship game, and then Birmingham win, and then Birmingham becomes the evil empire. And then the offseason, we have to see what happens with the coaches, where this league kind of goes and morphs from here. But anyway, that is it for the awards. Let's get to the vlog, and then we'll wrap up the show, shall we? All right, my friends, it's the final week of the regular season for the UFL. DC Defenders are out. America's team is out. However, remember, things are on the line, like blood donations. Remember, DC Defenders win. home games, we donate blood. I already scheduled for the second home game. That's actually coming up this week. So if the DC Defenders win, I'm going to donate blood again, and so can you be part of the program at uflnewshub.com/blood for if you want to be part of that and read that whole story. So there is something on the line. Aside from the Memphis Showboats Houston Roughnecks game, which is for the first overall pick in the draft, there is some meaning to this game. Also in this week, we have some, I'm not going to call them spies, but kids and his friends are coming to the game, and they're going to be in the beer snake section, so we'll get a first-hand look at what it's like to be in the beer snake section as well. So stay tuned. Final home game of the season. It's kind of sad, but I'm looking forward to the championship game. And this ain't over for us because we're headed to St. Louis for the championship game, so stay tuned. Let's do it. All right, we're here. Final game of the season. My wife made it. Despite her cancer diagnosis, she made it to every game. We also have some young men that'll partake in the beer snake. We'll get a full report of what it's like to be in the beer snake section. So we'll have that for you as well. So final game of the season, you excited?
Yep.
And then we'll be back in St. Louis after that. Nice. So stay tuned. All right, we'll walk into the stadium now after Walters. Any last minute thoughts before the final game?
Can't believe it's the final game.
Yeah, and it's nice out. I remember going to games when we had coats on and gloves and hats and all sorts of stuff. Nice. Are you guys ready back there?
Oh yeah.
All right. They're going to give us a report of what it's like to be in the beer snake section, so we'll have to find out what they think. So who said that Chris Rowland was going to take one back? I did. And then what did I do when he did do that? And then what? Yeah, but then I hit you in the arm or something. Yeah. So I got a little too excited, but he was going to break one last week or last home game, and I was like, he's going to break one. He's going to break one. And he did. It was a great play. That should be a Sports Center highlight. Just don't hurt your wife when you get too excited.
The DC Defenders, 31.
All right, that's a wrap. Season's over. But we made it five games. She made it, so that's really important. Through God's grace, she was able to make it. We have the survivors of the beer snake behind us. You probably saw them on TV. But all in all, I mean, that's a wrap. One of the things that we talked about was that we like the fact that the games are this time of year because it's just so nice out.
Yeah, perfect.
And so we enjoyed being down here, stopped at Walters, get something to eat, and now we're heading back home. So the next time you'll see us, we'll be on the road in St. Louis. We'll see who's going to be in the championship that game, but definitely you have to come to a DC Defenders game anytime, or even just come out to an XFL or UFL game, because it's just such a different experience. And every time we bring somebody to a game, they always just say how much they love it. So my wife's cool enough to come with me all the time. So that's a wrap. Oh, and the DC lost, so we can't donate blood. There was something on the line in this game, and it didn't happen. Only two home wins, so that's it. So there you have it, DC Defenders home game. It was funny because my son was able to get a picture with Harry Douglas. If you watch the game, Harry Douglas went all the way to the top of the beer snake. I'm definitely going to want to check it out, the replay on ESPN Plus. But they were right near him to do that. They had a great time. The beer snake was great. Had friend bring his two sons for the first time to the game. They had a wonderful time. They loved the atmosphere. I mean, everybody that comes to the DC Defenders games has a good time. And I think, it's just a different vibe, and I like it more than the NFL. I love the UFL. We just now to keep it going, and we got to work on the off season to grow it. We're already coming back for year 2, so that is good there. And so there you have it. That's it. So remember, you go to uflnewshub.com/blood to find out about donating blood. If you haven't done it, just do it once. We'll send you a sticker. We'll have all that stuff out there as we kind of wrap the season up. And we will be back on Thursday for a preview of the championship games. We're super excited about that. That should be a lot of fun. Those games are going to be great. I told my wife, I was like, I don't know where we're going to be, but Saturday at 3 o'clock, I am there watching that game. And of course, 7 p.m. on Sunday, watching that games as well. So I'm going to flow with how the league does. As the league grows, we'll grow with it. If the league just kind of stays stagnant, we'll kind of go where that goes. So that's kind of what the plan is right now in the off season. Hopefully, now that the first 6 months of the year are over, the next 6 months, through God's grace, everything will be good. So, hey, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody out there. Appreciate people stopping me, at the game saying hello. I love that stuff. Definitely. You know what I look like. I don't know what you look like. So that, makes me feel good that people are out there watching the show and enjoying what we're doing. So I'm super excited about that. And I can't wait to hit St. Louis. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we might bring some of our DC Defenders friends to a nice little tailgate in St. Louis. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Appreciate Don for hooking everything up for us. Super excited to meet him in person and hang out in St. Louis with the wife. We are definitely looking forward to getting away after these first 6 months have been quite nutty. So anyway, that's it for me, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a review on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. Smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more good UFL news as we continue to the championship game. All right, that's it for me, folks. As always, God bless, and I will see you all later.